blowing stuff out your head.
You smart lady, I ain't. Miss Regina told me to get out that bottle. That very bottle was a mighty honored guest. When Miss Regina changes orders like that, you can bet your dime she's got her reason.
Go on, you'll be needed.
Ah, Miss Zan, she had 2 helpings frozen fruit cream. And she tell that honored guest, she tell him that you made the best frozen fruit cream in all the South.
Did she? Well, see that Belle save a little for. She like it right before she go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, Cal, save her a few of them little cakes, too.
Oh, Cal, I want you to find one of the boys. One of the Christmas ones. And ask him to run home for me. To look in my desk. Oh, my, and what a good supper. It was just as good can be.
You look so pretty this evening, Miss Birdie, and young.
Young, me? Oh, oh, Cal, maybe you better find Simon. Tell him to do it himself. He's to look in my desk, in the left-hand drawer, and bring back my music album right away. Oh, Mr. Marshall is very anxious to see it. Oh, he's such a polite man. With his manners, he's so educated and cultured. I told him all about the time my mom and papa went to Europe for the music. Imagine going to Europe just to listen to music. Wouldn't that be nice, Addie, just to sit there and listen? Oh, Cal, tell him the left-hand drawer, but you better say it twice, because he forgets things. And tell him to be sure not to let any of the things drop out of the album and to bring it back in here right away.
Yes, but Simon, he won't get it right, but I'll tell him.
Tell him the left-hand drawer, bring back the blue album.
Birdie.
And, oh, Oscar, I was just sending Simon for my album.
Never mind about the album. Miss Birdie's changed her mind.
Oh, but no, I promised Mr. Marshall.
Why do you leave the dinner table and go running about like a child?
But Oscar, Mr. Marshall asked especially to see my album. I told him about the time Mama met Wagner, and Mrs. Wagner gave her the signed program and the big picture. Mr. Marshall wants to see that very, very much. We had such a nice talk.
Been chattering like a magpie all evening. You haven't let him be for a second. I can't think he came south to be bored with you.
He wasn't bored. I don't believe he was bored. He's an educated, cultured gentleman, and I don't believe that. You always talk like that when I'm having a nice time.
You had too much wine. Get yourself in here.
What am I doing?
Get yourself in here.
Stop acting. Coming in there.
Well, I don't believe he was bored. I just don't. Some people like music, and they like to talk about it. That's all that I was doing.
Sit down, Birdie. Sit down. Yeah.
Mr. Marshall. Chicago may be the noisiest, dirtiest city in the world, but I should still prefer it to the sound of our horses, the smell of our azaleas. I should love the crowds of people, the theaters, the lovely women. Very lovely women, Mr. Marshall.
In Chicago? Well, I suppose so, but I can tell you this. I have never dined there with 3 such lovely ladies.
Our southern women are well favored.
But one must go to Mobile for the ladies, very elegant, worldly ladies, too.
Worldly? Did you say worldly?
Your Uncle Ben means the worldliness is not a mark of beauty in any
Of
woman.
course, Uncle Ben, I wasn't talking.
Your port is excellent, Mrs. Giddens.
Why, thank you, Mr. Marshall. We've been saving that bottle, hoping we could open it just for you.
Oh, Addie, may I really?
Better ask Mother.
May I, Mama? In Mr. Marshall's honor.
Mr. Marshall, this will be the first taste of port I've ever had.
No one ever had their first taste of a better port. Well, I suppose it is all true, Mrs. Giddens,
What is true?
that you Southerners occupy a unique position in America. You live better than the rest of us. You eat better. You drink better. I wonder you find time or want to find time to do business.
Great many Southerners don't.
Do all of you live here together?
Here with me? Oh, no. My brother Ben lives next door, and my brother Oscar And his family living in the next square.
But we are a very close family. We've always wanted it that way.
That is very pleasant, keeping your family together to share each other's lives. My family moves around too much. My children seem never to come home, away at school in the winter, in the summer, Europe with their mother.
Oh, yes. Even down here we read about Mrs. Marshall and the society.
I dare say she moves about a great deal. And all of you are part of the same business, Hubbard.
Well, Oscar and me, my sister's good husband, is a banker.
Oh.
I'm so sorry he isn't here to meet you. He's been terribly ill. He's at Johns Hopkins, but he will be home soon now. We think he's getting better.
I work for Uncle Horace. I work for Uncle Horace at his bank. I keep an eye on things while he's away.
Really, Nick?
Modesty in the young is as excellent as it is rare.
Your uncle means that a young man should speak for him honestly.
Oh,
Yes,
Mrs. Hubbard, where's that Wagner autograph you promised to let me see? My train will be leaving soon.
Oh, you must forgive me. I didn't mean to chatter so about it. Excuse me, I didn't get it because I had a little headache.
My wife is a miserable victim of headache.
Oh, Alexandra, Mr. Marshall said at supper he'd like you to play for him.
It's not I who play well, sir. It's my aunt. She plays just wonderfully. She's my teacher. May we play a duet, may we, Mama?
Yes.
Thank you, dear, but I have my headache.
Well, don't be stubborn, Birdie. Mr. Marshall wants you to play.
Oh, indeed I do. If your headache isn't...
Oh, I should like to, sir. Very much.
You know, it's very remarkable how you Southern aristocrats have kept together and kept what belonged to you.
You misunderstand, sir. Southern aristocrats have not kept together and have not kept what belonged to them.
You don't call this keeping what belonged to you?
But we are not aristocrats. Our brother's wife was only one of us who belongs to the Southern aristocracy.
Well, my information is that you people have been here and solidly here for a long time.
And so we have, since our great-grandfather.
Who was not an aristocrat like Birdie.
You make great distinctions.
Well, they have been made for us. And maybe they are important distinctions. Now, you take Birdie's family. When my great-grandfather came here, they were the highest tone plantation owners in this state.
My mother's grandfather was governor of that state before the war.
They own the plantation lying there. You may have heard of it, sir.
No, I've never heard of anything except brick houses on a lake and cotton mills.
Now, in its day was the best cotton land in the South. Still brings us in a fair crop. Ah, they were great days for those people. Even when I can remember, they had the best everything. Cloth from Paris, trips to Europe, horses you can't raise anymore, niggers lift their fingers.
Oh, but we were good to our people. Everybody knew that. We were better to them than anything.
Why, Birdie, you aren't playing.
But when the war comes, these fine gentlemen ride off and leave the cotton and the women to rot.
But my father was killed in the war, Mr. Marshall. He was a fine soldier, a fine gentleman.
Certainly, Birdie. A famous soldier.
But that is the tale I'm telling Mr. Marshall. Well, sir, the war ends, Lionhead is almost ruined, and the sun's finished ruining it. And there are thousands like him. Why? Because the Southern aristocrat can't adapt himself to nothing. Too high-toned to try.
Sometimes it is difficult to learn new ways.
Perhaps. Perhaps. You're right, Mr. Marshall. It is difficult to learn new ways, but maybe that's why it's profitable. Our grandfather and our great-grandfather learned a new way, learned how to make a page. They were in trade, Hubbard and Sons merchandise. Others, Birdie's family, for example, looked down on us. Well, make a long story short, Lionhead now belongs to us. 20 years ago, we took over their land, their cotton, and their daughters.
Oh, Mrs. Hubbard, may I bring you a glass of port?
No, thank you, sir. You're most polite.
Ben, you are boring Mr. Marshall with these ancient family tales.
Well, I hope not. I hope not. I am trying to make an important point for our future business partner.
My brother always says it's folks like us who have struggled and fought to bring to our land some of the prosperity of your land.
Some people call that patriotism.
Oh, I hope you don't find my brothers too obvious, Mr. Marshall. I'm afraid what they're trying to say is it's time for the ladies to leave, the gentlemen to talk business.
Not at all. We settled everything this afternoon. I have only a few minutes before I must leave for my train, and I insist they be spent with you.
And another glass of water.
Thank you.
My sister's right. I am a plain man, and I'm trying to say a plain thing. A man ain't in business only for what he can get out of it. It's got to give him something here. Now, that's every bit as true for the nigger picking cotton for a silver quota as it is for you and me. Don't give him something here, and he don't pick the cotton right. Money isn't all, not by 3 shots.
Really? I always thought it was a great deal.
And so did I, Mr. Marshall.
Now, you don't have to convince me that you're the right people for the deal. I wouldn't be here if you hadn't convinced me of that 6 months ago. You want the mill here, and I want it here. It isn't my business to find out why you want it.
To bring the machine to the cotton, not the cotton to the machine.
You have a turn for neat phrases, Hubbard. Well, however grand your reasons are, mine are simple. I want to make money, and I believe I'll make it on you. Mind you, I have no objections to more high-minded reasons. They're mighty valuable in business. It's fine to have partners who so closely follow the teachings of Christ. And now I must leave for my train.
Oh, I'm so sorry you can't stay over with us, Mr. Marshall. But you will come again anytime.
Fill 'em up, boy. Fill 'em up. Down here, sir. We have a strange custom. We drink the last drink for a toast. That's proof the Southerner's still on his feet for the last drink. It was, Henry Frick, your Mr. Henry Frick, who said, railroads are the Rembrandts of investments. Well, sir, I say, Southern cotton mills will be the Rembrandts of investments, so I'll give you the firm of Hubbard, Sons, and Marshall Cotton Mills. And to it, a long and prosperous life, huh?
The children will drive you to the depot. Leo, Alexandra, you will drive Mr. Marshall down.
Yes, sir. It's not often Uncle Ben lets me drive his horses. And a beautiful pair they are, too, sir.
May I drive tonight, Uncle Ben? I'd like to.
What? Your evening clothes? No, my dear.
Come on, Ben.
But Leo always...
Ben!
I hate to say goodbye to you, Mr. Marshall.
Then we won't say goodbye. You promised to come and let me show you Chicago. Do I have to make you promise again?
I promise again.
Goodbye, Mrs. Hubbard.
Oh, goodbye.
Remember.
I will.
We'll see you to the carriage.
And there, Birdie, goes the man who has opened the door to our future.
What?
Our future. Ben and Oscar, the children. Our future. Oh, you were so charming at supper tonight, Birdie. Mr. Marshall certainly thought so.
Why, Regina, do you think he did?
Can't you tell when you're being admired?
Well, Oscar said that I bored Mr. Marshall.
Oh.
Well, he admired you. He told me so.
What did he say?
Well, he said, I hope your sister-in-law comes to Chicago. Chicago will be at her feet. The women will bow to her manners, and the gentlemen to her looks.
Did he?
Oh.
He seems a lonely man. Imagine being lonely with all that money. I don't think he likes his wife.
Not like his wife? Why wouldn't he like his wife?
She's away a good deal. He said that several times, and once he made fun of her being so social and I don't. But that fits in all right. Her being social, I mean. She could introduce me. It won't take long with an introduction from her.
Introduce you in Chicago? Regina, you really mean to go? Oh, you can't leave here. What about Horace?
Oh, Birdie, don't be so scared about everything. I'm going to go live in Chicago. I've always wanted to. And now there'll be plenty of money to go in.
But Horace won't be able to move around. You know it's off your road.
Oh, there'll be millions, Birdie. Millions. You know what I've always said when people told me that they thought that we were rich? I said, I think you should either be a nigger or a millionaire. In between like us, what for? But I'm not going away tomorrow, Birdie. There'll be plenty of time to worry about Horace when he gets home, if he ever decides to come home.
Will we be going to Chicago? I mean, Oscar and Leo, me.
You all? Oh, I shouldn't think so. Well, we must remember tonight. It's a very important night, and we mustn't forget it. We shall plan all the things we'd like to have. Then we really will have them. Make a wish, Birdie. Any wish is bound to come true now.
Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe. I guess I know right on what I want.
Looks like it might be Winston, huh?
Looks like it. Don't you pretend you're like the cat that's been licking the cream. Now we'll have a real drink to celebrate.
Children, Leo and Alexander make a very handsome couple, Regina. Marshall remarked himself what fine young folks they were and how well they look together.
Yes, you said that before.
Yes, sir. Begin to look like the deal is all set. I may not be a subtle man, but now somebody asked me how I know the deal's all set.
What do you mean, man?
Remember when I told him, down here, we drink the last drink for a toast?
Yeah, I never heard that before.
Nobody's ever heard it before. God forgives those who invent what they need. I already had a signature, but we've all done business with men whose word over glass is better than a bond. Anyway, it don't hurt to have both.
You understand what that means?
I understand. I understood immediately.
Did you, Regina? Well, when he lifted his glass to drink, I closed my eyes. I saw the bricks going into place.
I saw a lot more than that.
Slowly, slowly, as yet we have only our hopes.
Birdie and I have been planning what we want. I know what I want. What will you want, Bear?
I caution, don't count the chickens. God, we're a nice little daydreamer. Good for the soul when we worked hard enough to deserve it. I think I'll have a stable.
Oh.
For a long time, I've had my good eyes on Carter's in Savannah. A rich man's pleasure, the sport of kings. Why not the sport of Hubbards, huh? Why not, huh?
Why not? And what do you have, Oscar?
Oh, I don't know. The pleasure of seeing the bricks grow will be enough for me.
Now, of course, our greatest pleasure will be to see the bricks grow, but we're all entitled to a little side indulgence.
Oh, yes, I suppose so. Well, I think we might make a few trips here and there. Hey, Birdie.
Yes, I'd like that.
Might make a regular trip to Jekyll Island. Hey, the Cornelli place is for sale. Might think about buying it. Make a nice change. Do you good, Birdie. Change the climate. Fine shooting on Jekyll, Bill.
Oh, Oscar, I'd like...
What would you like, Birdie?
Well, two things. Two things I'd like most.
I should like 1,000. My, you are modest, Birdie.
Well, I should like to have Lionel back. I mean, I know you own it now, but I'd like to see it fixed up the way Mom and Papa had it. Every year it got a nice coat of paint, and the lawn was so smooth, all the way down to the river, with crimson zinnia and red feather flush and spades and little blue plums and scupping out. The organ is still there. Wouldn't cost much to fix. We could have parties for there. the way Mama used to have for me.
Oh, it's a pretty picture, Birdie. It might be the most pleasant way to live. Now, what do you want, Regina?
I could have a cutting garden. the way Mama used to be. Oh, I do believe we could be happier there. Papa used to say, nobody ever lost their temper at lying there, and nobody ever would. Oh, Papa wouldn't stand for anybody being nasty spoken or mean. No, sir, Papa wouldn't stand for that.
What do you want, Regina?
I'm going to Chicago. And when I'm settled there, know the right people, and know the right things to buy, because I certainly don't know now, I shall go to Paris and buy them. I shall leave you and Oscar to count the bricks.
Oscar, please. And I have
You're serious about moving to Chicago?
Yep, she's going to see the great world and leave us in the little one. Well, we'll come and visit you and meet all the great and be proud of them. She is our sister.
Why, certainly, Ben. And you won't even have to learn to be subtle. Stay as you are. You will be rich, and the rich don't have to be subtle.
What about Alexandra? She's 17. She's old enough to be thinking about marrying.
Oscar, I have one more wish, just one more.
Well, what is it, Birdie? What are you saying?
I want you to stop shooting. I mean so much. I don't like to see animals and birds killed just for the killing. And you only throw them away.
It'll take a great deal of money to live as you're planning, Regina.
Certainly, but there'll be plenty of money. You have estimated the profits very high.
I have estimated
And you don't allow anybody else to shoot. And the niggers need it so to keep them starving. It's wicked to shoot food just because you like to shoot when the poor people need it so.
I have estimated the profit very high for myself.
What did you say, Ben?
Oscar,
I said.
I've always
What are you
wanted to
cheering
speak
about?
Well,
You're exciting
I was
yourself.
talking about lying that and you're
You've
shooting.
been very childish, very excited all evening.
I didn't
Regina
hear
asked
what you
what I
said.
liked.
So much
I
trouble.
said
Everybody would say what they like.
What
So I
did you
said what I
say,
liked.
Ben?
Very well, we all
I'm waiting for you to finish, you and Birdie. 4 conversations of 3 minutes. I said that I had, and I do estimate profits very high for myself. And Oscar, of course.
And what does that mean?
Oh, well, Regina, it's like this. For 49%, Marshall will put up $800,000, and for 51%, controlling interest, mind you, we will put up $450,000 besides offering him certain benefits our local position allows us to manage. Well, Ben means $450,000 is a lot of money.
I know the terms. I know it's a lot of money.
It is.
Ben means that we are ready with our 2/3 of the money, but your third. Horace doesn't seem to be ready. Now, Ben's written Horace, I've written him, you've written him. He answers, but he never mentions this business. We've explained it to him in great detail. We've told him of the urgency. Still, he never mentions it. Now, Ben has been very patient, Regina. Naturally, you're our sister. We want you to benefit from anything we do.
And in addition to your concern for me, you do not want control to go out of the family. That right, Ben?
That's cynical. But cynicism is often an unpleasant way of saying the truth.
Now, there's no need to be cynical. We'd have no trouble raising the third share, and the share that you want to take.
Oh, I'm sure you'd have no trouble getting the third share. The share you were saving for me. But that would give you a strange partner. And strange partners sometimes want a great deal. But perhaps it would be wise for you to find him.
No. Nobody says we want to do that. We'd like to have you in. You'd like to come in.
Yes, I would.
But we haven't heard from Horace.
I have given you my word that Horace would put up the money. That should be enough.
Was enough. I took your word. I gotta have more than your word now. Contracts will be signed this week. Master will want to see our money soon after. Regina, Horace has been in Baltimore for 5 months. I know that you have written him to come home and that he has not come.
Again, it looks as if he doesn't want to come home.
Of course he wants to come home. You can't move around with heart trouble any minute you like. Well, you know what doctors are like once they get their hands on a case like that.
They can't very well keep him from answering letters, can they? They couldn't keep him from arranging for all the money, if he wanted
Has
to.
it occurred to you that Horace is also a very good businessman?
Well, certainly. He's a shrewd trader, always has been. The bank's proof of that.
And possibly he may be keeping silent because he doesn't think he's getting enough for his money. $150,000 he has to put up. Well, that is a lot of money, too.
No, the Horace knows a good thing when he hears it. He knows we can make twice the profit on cotton goods manufactured here and can be made in the North.
That ain't what Regina means. May I interpret you, Regina? Regina's saying that Horace wants more than a third of our share.
He's only putting up a third of the money. You put up a third, you get a third. What else could he expect?
I don't know. I don't know about these things. But it would seem, I mean, if you put up a third, you should only get a third, but, well, there's no law about it, is there? I should think if I knew my money was very badly needed, I just might say to myself, I want more. I want a larger share. Well, you boys have done it. I've heard you say so.
So you believe he has deliberately held out for larger share? Well, I don't believe it, but I do believe that's what you want. Am I right, Regina?
Oh, I shouldn't like to be too definite, but I could say that I wouldn't like to persuade Horace unless he did get a larger share. I have to look out after his interests. It seems only natural.
Where would the larger share come from?
Well, I don't know. That's not my business. But perhaps it could come off your share.
What kind of talk is this?
I haven't said a thing.
You're talking mighty big tonight.
Am I? Well, you should know me well enough to know that I wouldn't be asking for things I didn't think I could get.
Listen, I don't think you can even get Horace to come home. Much less get him to put up money or talk quite so big about what you want.
Oh, I can get him home.
Why the hell are you?
Because I thought I should find Horace's battles for him before he comes home. Horace is a very sick man. Even if you don't care how sick he is, I do.
Now stop the foolish squabbling. How can you get him home?
I shall send Alexandra to Baltimore. She will ask him to come home. She will say she wants him to come home and that I want him to come home.
Well, Regina, of course, she wants him to come home. But he's sick.
You
Maybe
agree?
he's happy where he
You
is.
agree that he will come home if she asks him to? If she says that I miss him and want him?
I admire you, Regina, and I agree. There, that's all said
But
now.
before she brings him home, I want to know how much he's going to get.
What do you want?
Twice what you offered.
Well, you won't get it.
I think you're going crazy.
Ben, I don't want to fight.
I don't either. You won't get it. There isn't a chance of that. You're holding us up. That's not pretty, Regina. Not pretty at all. But we need you, and I don't want to fight, so here's what I'll do. I'll give Horace 40% instead of the 33 1/3% he really should get. I'll do that, provided he is home and his money's up within 2 weeks. How's that?
All right.
I asked before, where's this extra share coming from?
From you. From your share.
Well, for me. Well, that's just fine and dandy. That's my reward. 35 years I've worked my hands to the bone for you. 35 years I've done all the things that you didn't want to do, and this is what I... Oh.
Oh, my. I'm being attacked tonight on all sides. First by my sister, then by my brother. And I ain't a man who likes being attacked. I can't believe God wants the strong to parade their strength, but I don't mind doing it if it's got to be done. Oscar, you ought to take these things back. Come on, come on. I made you money in the past. I'm going to make you more money now. You'll be a very rich man. What's the difference any of us? A little more goes here, a little less goes there. It's all in the family. It will stay in the family. I'll never marry, so my money will go to Alexandra and Leo. They may even marry someday.
Alexandra,
The horse should make a difference.
Is that what you mean, Regina?
Oh, it's too far away. We'll talk about it in a few years.
I want to talk about it now.
Naturally.
Well, there are a lot of things to consider. They are first cousins.
Well, it is not unusual. Our grandmother and grandfather are first cousins.
And look at us.
You're both being very gay with my money.
All these quarrels, I dislike them so. Marriage might be a very wise arrangement for several reasons. Then Oscar has given up something for you. Now, you should try to manage something for him, huh?
Well, I haven't said I was opposed to it, but, well, Leo is a wild boy. And there was those times when little money was missing from the bank.
But that's all past history.
Oh, yes, I know. And I know all young men are wild. I just brought it up to show there are considerations.
Right, so there are, but please assure Oscar you will at least think about it seriously.
Very well. I assure Oscar I will think about it very seriously.
That is not an answer.
Oh, my, but you are in a bad humor, and you shall put me in one. I have said all that I'm going to say for now. After all, Horace has to give his consent, too.
Horace will do what you tell him to.
Yes, I think he will.
And I have your word that you will try.
Yes, Oscar, you have my word that I will think about it. Now, do leave me alone.
Regina, Alexandra's 17 years old.
Alexandra, you home?
Mr. Marshall got off safe and sound. What those fine clothes he had. You know which spot clothes made in a good place. Looks like maybe they were done in England. Like the men in the north sent all the way to England for their stuff.
Were you careful driving the horses? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, I was.
It's a lovely night. You should have come, Aunt Birdie.
Were you gracious to Mr. Marshall?
I think so, Mama. I like him.
Good. Now, I have some great news for you. You are going to Baltimore tomorrow to bring your papa home.
Me? Papa said I should come? That must... He must be well. Think of it, he'll be back home again. We'll bring him home.
You're going alone, Alexandra.
Going alone, going by herself, a child this age. Mr. Horace ain't gonna like that, traipsing up there by herself.
You will go upstairs and lay out Alexandra's things.
He would expect me to be alone.
I will be up in a few minutes to tell you what to pack. I should think you'd like going alone. At your age, it certainly would have delighted me. You're a strange girl, Alexandra. Addie's baby to you so.
I only thought it would be more fun if Addie and I went together.
Maybe I could go with her, Regina. I'd really like to.
She is going alone. She's old enough to take some responsibilities.
You better learn now. She's almost old enough to get married, eh, son? Old enough to get married, you're thinking, eh?
Yes, sir. Lots of girls get married at Zan's age. Why, look at Mary Cressida and Johanna.
Well, she is not getting married tomorrow, but she is going to Baltimore tomorrow. So we'll talk about that. You'd like to have your papa home again.
I wanted to go before, Mama. You remember that, but you said you couldn't go, and that I couldn't go alone.
Well, I've changed my mind. Now you're to tell your papa that you want him to come home for your sake, that you need him home.
Need him home? I don't understand.
Well, there's nothing for you to understand. You'll simply say what I'm telling you to.
He may be too sick. She couldn't do that.
Yes. He may be too sick to travel. I couldn't make him think he had to come home for me if he were too sick to.
You couldn't do what I tell you to, Alexandra?
No, I couldn't if I thought it would hurt him.
But you are doing this for your papa's good. You must let me be the judge of his condition. Why, it'd be the best possible cure for him to come home and be treated here. He mustn't stay up there any longer and listen to those alarmist doctors. You are doing this entirely for your papa's sake. Now, I want you to tell your papa that I want him to come home and that I miss him very much.
Yes, Mama.
Well, I shall go now and get Alexander's things together. Why don't you all go home?
I'll attend to the railroad ticket. One of the boys will bring it over. Night, everybody. Have a nice trip, Alexandra. The food on the train is very good. The celery is so crisp. Have a good time and act like a little lady.
Night, Ben. Good night, Oscar. Oh, don't look so glum, Oscar. It makes you look like you had chronic indigestion.
Good night, Regina.
Good night, Birdie.
Come on now, come on.
Imagine you not wanting to go. What a little fool you are. I wish it were me. What I could do in a place like Baltimore.
Mind your business. I can guess the kind of things you could do.
No, you can't.
Come on up, Alexandra.
All right.
Stanley.
I don't understand about my going, Aunt Birdie. But anyway, Papa will be home again. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself.
That's not what I'm worried about.
What's the
It's
matter?
Leo.
He beat the horses. That's why we were late getting back. We had to wait until they cooled off. He always beats the
He's
horses.
my son, my own son. But you are more to me. I love you more than anybody.
Don't worry about the horses. I'm sorry.
I am not worried about the horses. I'm worried about you. You are not going to marry Leo. I will not let them do that to you.
Marry Leo, Aunt Birdie? I'm not going to marry, and certainly not Leo. I couldn't even think about it.
They have thought about it. Oh, Danny, I couldn't stand such a thing. You and Leo,
Please don't worry. Nobody can make me.
Don't you understand? They will make you. They'll make you.
That's foolish, Aunt Birdie. I'm grown now. Nobody can make me do
Birdie.
anything.
Birdie, get your hat and coat.
Come on, baby, your mama's waiting. She ain't nobody to keep up with.
Right. Good night, Aunt Birdie.
Good night, Uncle Oscar.
Ow!
Aunt Birdie? What happened?
Oh, nothing happened. Darling, nothing happened. Now you go to bed. Nothing happened. I twisted my ankle.
Oscar.
What's this? It's not night. What's the matter here? Fine thing. This time of the morning, the blinds all closed. Where's Miss Regina? It's cold in here.
Miss Regina ain't down yet.
She had any word.
No, sir.
Wouldn't you think a girl that age could get on a train at one place and have sense enough to get off at another?
Something must have happened. If Dan said she come in last night, she come in last night unless something happened. Surefire disgrace to let a baby like that go all that way to bring a sick man home alone.
You do a lot of judging here, Annie. Judging your white folks, I mean.
I'm tired. I've been up all night watching for them.
Who's downstairs, Ellie? Oh, it's you, Oscar. What are you doing here so early? I haven't even finished dressing yet. I haven't been done.
You hear any word from them?
No.
Well, something certainly has happened. People don't just say they're arriving on Thursday night. They haven't come by Friday morning.
Nothing has happened. Alexandra hasn't sense enough to send a message.
Well, if nothing's happened, then why aren't they here?
Oh, you asked me that 10 times last night. Ma, you do fuss so, Oscar. Anything could have happened. They could have missed connections in Atlanta. The plane train could have been delayed. 100 things could have happened.
Where's Ben?
Well, where should he be? At home, probably. Really, Oscar, I don't tuck him in his bed, and I don't take him out of it. I have some coffee, and stop worrying.
Have some coffee. There is no coffee. Oh, there you are. Is everything in this fancy house always late?
You ain't out shooting this morning, Mr. Oscar.
First day I missed since my head cold. First day I missed in 8 years.
Yes, sir. I bet you. Simon, he said you had a mighty good day yesterday morning. That's what Simon said.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I bet you got enough Bob White and Squirrel to give every nigga in town a Jesus party. Most of them ain't had no meat since the cotton picking was over. I bet you they'd give anything for a little piece of that.
Yeah, if I hear a nigger in this town going shooting, you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Oscar. I didn't say nothing about nothing, but Simon...
Mr. Banks, you think they haven't had any
breakfast with us? Yeah.
Now, what are you doing here, son?
You told me to find out if the boys in the bank had any message from Uncle Horace for
I
Dan.
said if they had a message, you should bring it here. I said if they didn't have a message, you should stay at the bank and do your work.
Yes, sir. I guess I misunderstood.
Oh, you didn't misunderstand. You're just looking for any excuse to take an hour off. You gotta stop that kind of thing. You gotta start settling down.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna be a married man one of these days. You also gotta stop with that woman in Mobile. Well, you're young. I haven't got no objections to outside women. That is, I haven't got no objections so long as they don't interfere with serious things. Outside women are all right in their place, but now's not their place. You've got to realize that.
Yes, sir. I'll tell her. She'll act all right about it.
You also got to start working hard at the bank. You got to convince Uncle Horace you're going to make a fit husband for Alexandra.
What do you think happened to them? Supposed to be here last night. I bet your Uncle Ben is mighty worried. $150,000
Ought to
worried.
be worried damn well, ought to be. First he don't answer the letters, then he don't come home.
Well, what'll happen if Uncle Horace don't come home? Or
Don't put up the money, we'll get it from outside, easy enough.
But you don't want outsiders.
What do I care who gets my share? I've been shaved already. Sir, Ben, right? You gotta give away some of you.
It's a damn shame what they did to you.
Don't talk so loud. Don't you worry. When I die, you'll have as much as the rest. You might have yours and Alexander's. I'm not so easily licked.
I wasn't thinking of myself.
Well, you should be. You should be. It's every man's duty to think of himself.
You think Uncle Horace don't want to go in on this?
That's my hunch. He hasn't shown any signs of loving it yet.
But he hasn't listened to Aunt Regina yet either. Oh, he'll go along. It's too good a thing. Why wouldn't you want to? He's got plenty to invest with. You don't even have to sell nothing. $188,000 worth of Union Pacific bonds sitting right in his safe deposit box. All he's got to do is open the box.
Mighty late breakfast in this fancy house. Nancy's had those bonds 15 years. Bought them in a load. Just locked them up.
Yeah, just got to open the box and take them out, that's all. Easy as easy can be. The things in that box. It's all them bonds there looking mighty fine. Right next to them is an old baby shoe of Zan's. A cheap old cameo on a string. And nobody believed this. There's a piece of an old violin. Not even a whole violin, just a piece of an old thing. A piece of a violin.
Piece of a violin. Well, what do you think of that?
Yes, sir. A lot of other crazy things, too. Poem, I guess it is, signed with his mother's name. 2 old school books, some notes.
How do you know what's in the box, son?
Oh, it was one of the boys. Sir, it was one of the boys at the bank. He took old Man's keys. It was Joe Horns. He just up and took Man's keys. And he took the box out. Then they all asked me if I wanted to see too, so I looked a little, I guess. But then I made them close up quick and promised never to...
Joe!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he did. My word of honor. I suppose that don't excuse me none from looking, but I did make him close up the box and put the keys back in Man's drawer.
Tell me the truth, Leo. Now, I'm not going to be angry with you. Did you open the box?
No, sir, I didn't. I just
Did
told
you
you.
open the box yourself?
No.
I'm not going to be angry with you. Sometimes a fellow deserves credit for looking around and see what's going on. And sometimes that's a good sign in a fellow your age. Many great men have made their fortunes with their eyes. Did you open the box?
No, I didn't.
Did you open the box? It may have... May have been a good thing if you had.
I opened it.
Is that the truth now? Did anybody else know that you opened it? Come, Leo, you don't have to be afraid of speaking the truth, Joey.
No, nobody knew. Nobody was even in the bank when I did it.
Did your Uncle Horace ever know that you opened it?
He only looks in it every 6 months to cut coupons. Sometimes even Mann does that for him. Uncle Horace don't even have the keys. Mann just keeps them for him. Imagine not looking at all that. You can bet if I had those bonds, I'd watch them.
If you had them.
I'd watch them like a...
If you had them, then you could have a share in the mill. You and me. Fine, big share, too. Well, a man can't be shot for wanting to see his son get out in the world, can he, boy?
No. No, he can't. It's natural enough. But I haven't got the bonds. Uncle Horace has. Now he can just sit back and wait to be a millionaire.
You think Uncle Horace likes you well enough to lend you the bonds if he decides not to use them himself?
Bob, that must be. I haven't had your breakfast yet. Lend me the bonds. My God.
No, I guess you're right. No, it's just a fancy of mine. Alone for 3 months before. Easy enough to pay it back then. This is only April. If you don't look at him until the fall, he wouldn't even miss him out of the box.
That's just it. He wouldn't even miss them. Oh, well.
No, sir, he wouldn't even miss him. How could he miss him if he never even looks at him? Look, here we are sitting around waiting for Horace to come home and invest his money in something he has lifted his hand to get. I can't help him. He's acting strange. You laugh when I say he could lend you the bonds if he didn't use them himself. But would it hurt him?
No. No, it wouldn't.
People ought to help other people, but that's not always the way it happens. So sometimes you got to think of yourself. More than that.
Fine sunny morning. Any news from the runaway?
No news you would have heard. My, quite a convention so early in the morning, aren't you all?
You rise mighty late these days. That's the way they do things in Chicago society.
Salvation died up in Abbeville, 81. That's a good time for us all, huh? What do you think has really happened to Horace, Regina?
Nothing.
You don't think maybe he never started from Baltimore, never intends to start?
Of course they started. Denied that letter from Alexander. What's so strange about people arriving late? He has that cousin in Savannah he's so fond of. Left our talk to see him. There'll be a long sometime today. I'm mighty flattered that you and Oscar are so worried.
I'm a natural worry. Especially when I'm getting ready to close a business deal and one of my partners remains silent and invisible.
Oh, is that it? And I thought you were worried about Horace's health.
Well, that too. Who could help but worry? I'm worried. It's the first day I haven't shot since my head cold.
Then you haven't had your breakfast yet.
Regina, that cousin of Horace's has been dead for years, and in any case, the train does not go through Savannah.
Did he die? You're always remembering about people dying. Now, I intend to have my breakfast in peace and read my newspaper.
Second breakfast for me. First was bad. You know Celia ain't the cook she used to be. She's too old to have taste anymore. She hadn't belonged to Mama. I sent her off to the country.
Uncle Horace will have some tales to tell, I bet. Baltimore is a lively town.
Grits isn't hot enough. Take that.
Oh, yes, sir. Grits didn't hold the heat. Grits didn't hold the heat.
When I was in school, 3 of the boys and myself took the train once and went on over to Baltimore. It was so big, we thought we was in yours. I was just a kid then, and I don't remember it so
I
good.
find it very pleasant to have breakfast alone. I hate traveling before I've had something hot to be silly.
Well, how are you, Annie? How
Oh,
are you,
my right
brother?
side, Justin. I've been worried about you.
Now, don't tell me how worried you were about it. We couldn't help it, and there was no way to send a message.
Oh, yes, sir. I was mighty worried.
We had to stop in Mobile overnight.
Well.
Papa didn't feel well. The trip was too much for him, and I made him stop and rest. Well, don't take that. That's Father's medicine. I'll hold it. It mustn't break. Now, stuff outside. Papa needs to have his wheelchair. I'll get that in the valises.
Since when you got to carry your own valises? And since when are you old enough to hold your father's medicine? You feel all right, Mr. Horace?
Oh, glad to be sitting down.
He doesn't feel all right. He just says that the trip was very hard on him, and now he must go right to bed.
Well,
Them fancy doctors, they give you any help?
they did their best, Eddie.
I bet Mama was worried. I better tell her we're here now.
Ma'am, not for a minute, dear.
Papa, you feel bad again. I knew you did. Do you want your medicine?
No, I don't feel that way. I'm just a little tired, darling. You let me rest for a minute.
They're all in there eating breakfast.
Oh, are they all here? Why do they always have to be here? I'm hoping Papa wouldn't have to see anybody, that it would be nice for him and quiet.
Let your papa rest a minute.
Annie, I'll bet your coffee's as good as ever. They don't have such good coffee up north.
Oh,
Is it as good, Eddie?
No! Dr. Reeves says not much coffee. Just now and then. I'm the nurse now, Allie.
oh. Well, you'd make a better one if you didn't look so dirty. So go take a bath, Miss Grown-Up. Change your linen, get out a fresh dress, give your hair a good brush and go.
Will you be all right, Papa?
Oh,
Now, pills Papa must take once every 4 hours. And the bottle only if he feels very bad. Don't move until I come back. And don't talk much. And remember about the medicine, Addie.
Ring the bell, have her help you. And then I'll make you a fresh breakfast.
How's Aunt Birdie? Is she here?
It ain't right for you to have coffee. It'll hurt you.
Nothing can make much difference now. Get me a cup, Yeah, it's funny. You can't make coffee up north. They don't like red pepper either. Oh, God, that's good. Remember how I used to drink this? 10, 12 cups a day. So strong it had to stain the cup. Addie, before I see anybody else, I want to know why Zan came to fetch me home. She's tried to tell me, but she doesn't seem to know herself.
I don't know. All I know is big things is going on. Everybody's going to be hot-tone rich, big rich. You too. All because smoke's going to start out of a building that ain't even up yet.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Well, Zan, she's going to marry Mr. Leo in a little while.
What are you talking about?
That's right, that's the talk, God help us.
What's the talk?
I'm telling you, there is going to be a wedding. Over my dead body, there is.
Go and tell him I'm home.
Oh, no, Mr. Horace, you ain't to get excited. You used to be in your bed.
Go and tell him I'm back.
Miss Regina, they come home. They got here.
Oh,
I'm fine, something better now you're back.
What did happen to you? What if I done her so excited about seeing you? I was gone about
wasn't
her.
feeling well, a little tired, I guess, so we stopped overnight to rest. Now, Zan's upstairs washing off the train deck.
Oh, I'm so sorry the trip was hard on you. I just didn't think.
Well, it's just like I'd never been away, all of you here.
Waiting to welcome you home.
Horace! Horace! Oh,
well, I was just wondering where you were, Birdie.
I would have been here, but I didn't know you were back in time. He said he saw the bus. Oh, you don't look well, No, you don't.
Birdie, what did you say?
Now, Oscar thinks I look very well.
Don't stand there holding that biscuit in your hand.
Well, I'm down to finish my breakfast, Uncle Horace. Then I'll give you all the news at the back.
What's that costume you have on?
Now that you're home, you feel better. Plenty of good rest. Oh, you'll take such fine care of.
Yes, so what's that strange costume you're praying around?
Where's Danny? I missed
Birdie, I asked you.
Oh, me. My wrapper. Well, I was so excited about Horace, I just rushed out of the house.
You ran across the square dressed that way off 30.
Like old times.
Now, no fun.
Birdie.
It's a holiday.
Tell Danny I'll be back in a little while. I'm sorry,
Why don't you go finish your breakfast and let Horace rest for a minute?
Never leave a meal unfinished. There are too many poor people who need the food. Mighty glad to see you home, Horace. Fine to have you back. It's fine to have you back.
That's so crazy. Running around the streets like one.
Well, you finally back. It's been a long time. 5 months. You know, Horace, that I wanted to come up and be with you in the hospital, but I just didn't know where my responsibility was, here or with you, but you know I wanted to come.
Well, that's kind of you, Regina. There was no need to come.
Oh, but there was. 5 months, you're lying there all by yourself. No kinfolk, no friends. You can't tell me you didn't have a bad time there.
No, I didn't have a bad time. No, I didn't, Regina. Well, at first, when I heard the news about myself, but after I got used to that, well, I liked it there.
You liked it? And that's strange. You liked it so well, you didn't want to come home.
No, that's not the way to put it. But there I was, and I got kind of used to it. Kind of to like lying there and thinking. I never had much time to think before. Time has become valuable to me.
Sounds almost like a holiday.
Well, it was sort of the first holiday I've had since I was a little kid.
And here I was thinking you were in pain.
I was in pain.
And all the time you were having a holiday. A holiday of thinking. Couldn't you have done that here?
I wanted to do it before I came here. I was thinking about us.
About us? You were thinking about you and me? You were thinking about you and me after all these years? Oh, you shall have to tell me everything you thought someday.
Regina, why did you send Zan to Baltimore?
Why? Because I wanted you home. You can't make anything suspicious of
No,
that.
no, I didn't mean to make anything suspicious about it. Zan said you wanted me to come home. Well, I was so pleased at that and touched. It made me feel good.
Touched that I should want you home?
I'm saying all the wrong things, as usual. Let's try to get along better. There isn't so much more time. Regina, what's all this crazy talk I've been hearing about Zan and Leo? About Zan and Leo marrying.
Who gossips so much around here?
Regina!
Oh, it's just some foolishness Oscar thought of. I'll explain it to you later. I have no intention of going through with any such arrangement. It was simply a way to keep Oscar quiet and all this business we've been talking and writing about.
Well, what has Zan to do with any business of Oscar's? Now, whatever it is, you better put it out of Oscar's head immediately. You know what I think of Leo?
But there's no need to talk about it now.
There is no need to talk about it ever. Not as long as I live. As long as I live. I've been in the hospital for 5 months. Yet since I've been here, you've not once asked me about my health. Well, I suppose they've written you. I probably won't live very long.
I never could understand why people have to talk about things like that.
Oh, you misunderstand. I don't intend to gossip about my illness. Thought it was only fair to tell you. I was not asking for your sympathy.
Do the doctors know what caused your bad heart?
What do you mean?
They didn't think it possible, did they, that your fancy women may have...
Cause my heart to be bad? No. I don't think that's the best scientific theory. You don't catch heart trouble in bed.
Well, I didn't think you did. I just thought it possible you might catch a bad conscience in bed, as you say.
Well, I didn't tell them about my bad conscience or about my fancy women, nor did I tell them that my wife has not wanted me in bed with her. Well, how long has it been, Regina? 10 years? Did you bring me home for this, to make me feel guilty again? Ooh, that means you want something. Well, you're not making me feel guilty anymore. My thinking has made a difference.
I can see that it has. It's foolish for us to fight this way. I didn't mean to be unpleasant. I was stupid.
Well, God knows I didn't either. I came home wanting so much not to fight. And all of a sudden, there we were. I got hurt.
It's all my fault. I didn't ask you about your illness because I didn't want to remind you of it. Anyway, I never believe doctors when they talk about things like that.
Well, we'll try our best with each other.
I'll try. Honestly, I will. Horace, I know you're very tired, but could you just stay down a minute longer? There's something I want Ben to tell you.
Tomorrow.
I'd like to now. It's very important to me. Very important to all of us. Important to your beloved daughter. She'll be a very great heiress.
Will she? That's nice.
Ben, you finished breakfast?
Is this the mill business I've had so many letters about?
There's something Horace wants to talk to you about.
Horace wants to... Regina, I'm very tired.
Please. You said we'd try with each other. I'll try, really I will. Please do this for me now. You'll see what I've done while you've been away, how I've watched out for your interests, and I've done really very well, too, but things just can't be delayed any longer. They have to be settled by the end of the week. Ben, tell Horace all about it, but be quick, because he is very tired, and he must go to bed. But I think your news will be better than all the medicine in the world.
I could wait. Horace may not feel like talking today.
Oh, I'm no faking you are. You know it can't wait. You know it has to be settled by the end of the week. Why, you've been just as anxious to have Horace here as I have.
Well, I suppose I have been, and why not? Horace has done Hubbard's son's many a good turn. Why shouldn't I be anxious to help him now?
Oh, help him. Help him when you need him. That's what you mean.
What a woman you married, Horace. What a woman. Well, I'll make it quick. You know what I've been telling you for years. I've always said that every one of us little southern businessmen had great things right beyond our fingertips. It's been my dream. My dream to make those fingers grow longer. I'm a lucky man, Horace, a lucky man. To dream and live to get what you dreamed of. That's my idea of a lucky man. For 30 years I cried, bring the cotton mills to the cotton. Well, finally got up nerves to go to Marshall Company in Chicago.
Yeah, I know all this.
Can I get you something?
A little water, please.
Oh, let me, I'm sorry. Do you feel all right?
Yes, you wrote me. I know all that.
Oh, but what you don't know is that in the last few days, Ben has offered us, a much larger share.
Really? That's very generous of you.
That wasn't so generous of me. It was smart of Regina.
I explained to Ben that perhaps you weren't answering his letters because you didn't think you were getting enough. And the time was getting short, and you could guess how much he needed you.
And I could guess that he wants to keep control in the family.
Exactly. So I did a little bargaining for you and convinced my brothers they weren't the only Hubbards with a business sale.
Did you have to convince him of that? How little people know about each other. Well, but you know better about Regina next time, huh, Ben? Now, let's see. We're getting a bigger share. Who's getting less?
Oscar.
Well, Oscar, you've grown very unselfish. What's happened?
Well, Oscar and mine, not worth fighting about now, huh, Oscar?
I'll get mine in the end. You can be sure of that. I got my son's future to think about.
Leo?
Oh, I see. Yes, I am beginning to see. Everybody will get there.
I knew you'd see it. 150,000. And that 150,000 will make you 2 million.
It will, Horace, it will.
I believe it. Yeah, now I can understand Oscar's self-sacrifice. But what did you have to promise Marshall Company besides the money you put up?
Wouldn't take promises, they want a guarantee.
So what?
Water power, free, plenty of it.
You got them that, of course.
Cheap. You think the governor of a great state would make his price a little higher? Out of pride, you know. Cheap wages. Now, what do you mean by cheap wages, I say to Marshall? That's in Massachusetts, he says to me. That averages 8 a week. 8 a week? By God, I tell him I work for 8 a week myself. Why, there ain't a mountain wide of a town nigger that wouldn't get his right arm for 3 silver dollars every week. Huh, Horace?
Sure, they take less than that when you get around to playing them off against each other. Save a little money that way, Ben. Make them hate each other a little more than they do now.
What's all that?
I will have no trouble from anybody, white or black. What about strikes? Marshall says to me, that's all we've had in Massachusetts for the last 3 years. I say to him, what is a strike? I never heard of one. Come south, Marshall. We got good folks and we don't stand for any fancy fooling.
Well, you're right, you're right. Yes, I think you made a good deal for yourself and for Marshall, too, yeah. Well, your father used to say, he made the thousands and you boys would make the millions. I think he's right.
Millions for us, too.
Us? You and me? I don't think so, Regina. We'll just sit by and watch the boys grow rich.
How are things at the bank, Leo?
Fine, so everything is
How are
just
all the
fine.
ladies in Mobile? Now, what makes you think I
Do
got
you
Sam
mean
married?
that you are turning this down? Is it possible that's what you mean?
No, that's not what he means. Turning down a fortune, Horace is tired. He'd rather not talk about it today.
We can't keep putting it off this way. Oscar has to be in Chicago by the end of the week with the money and the
It
contract.
can't be till the end of the week. No sense going without the money.
I am not going to wait any longer for your answer. I am not going to wait any longer.
Now, Horace probably has his reasons,
Well,
things
I
he'd
know
like to
his
explain.
reasons.
Horace
Hold
do.
myself, now let's leave it at that.
We will not leave it at that. We have worked for you to come home.
So that you can invest my money? Is that why you want me home? Well, I had hoped. If you are disappointed, Regina, I am sorry. I must do what I think best. We'll talk about it another time.
We'll talk about it now. Just you and me.
Please, Regina, it's been a hard time. I don't feel well. Please leave me alone now.
I want to talk to you. I am coming up.
Sometimes it's better to wait for the sun to rise again. Sometimes, like our mama used to tell you, it's unwise for a good-looking woman to frown. Softness and a smile mean more to the heart of man.
Well, let's hope she changes his mind. Let's hope.
The paper says 27 cases of yellow fever discovered in New Orleans. I guess the floodwaters caused it. I thought they were building the levees high enough, but it's like the niggas always say, a man born a woman can't build nothing high enough for Mississippi.
I can't understand what you mean. I can't believe that you mean to turn this down. This is what you've been waiting for, what all of us have been waiting for.
Well, just suppose you don't change his mind. Suppose he keeps on
He's tired. It was a mistake to talk to him today. A sick man, but he isn't a crazy one.
Well, just suppose he is crazy. Well, what do we do?
Then we'll go outside for the money. There's plenty who would give it.
And plenty will want a lot for what they give. Those who are smart enough to give will be, or rich enough to give, will be smart enough to want. That means we'd be working for them.
You don't have to tell me things I told you 6 months ago.
Yeah, you're right not to worry. She'll change his mind. She always has.
People don't pass up chances like this. I won't let you pass up chances like this. I won't let you pass up this one just because you're
Maybe.
crazy.
I don't believe it. I never did believe he was going in with us.
What the hell do you expect me to do?
Nothing. You've done your almighty best. Nobody can blame you if the whole thing's stripped away right through our fingers. You can't do a thing. But there may be something that I could do for us. I might better say something that Leo could do for us. Ain't that true, son? Ain't it true? You might be able to help your own kinfolk.
Papa, I don't...
How would he help us, Oscar?
Leo's got a friend. Leo's friend owns $188,000 in Union Pacific bonds. Leo's friend don't look at the bonds much. Not for 5, 6 months at a time.
Union Pacific, uh-huh. Now, let me understand. Leo's friend would lend him the bonds, and then
He would be kind enough to lend them to us.
Leo,
Yes, sir.
when would your friend be wanting the bonds back?
I don't know.
You told me you wouldn't look at them till the fall.
Oh, that's right. Not until the fall. Uncle Horace never looks at him unless he's going to cut...
Your uncle doesn't wish to know your friend's name.
Not know his name. That's a good one.
Shut up, Leo. He won't look at them till September. That gives us 5 months. Leo will return the bonds in 3 months. We won't have any trouble raising the money once the mills are going up. Will Marshall accept bonds?
I have a right to expect that.
Go away, leave me alone.
I won't leave you alone. I demand that you put up this money, and I demand that you do it immediately.
Why not? Why not? Good. We are lucky. We'll take the loan from Leo's friend. I think he will make a safer partner than our sister. How soon can you get it?
Today, this afternoon, they're in the safe deposit
I
box.
don't want to know where they are.
We'll keep it secret from you.
Good. Don't check for our part. You can take the night train to Chicago. Well, Oscar, huh? Good luck to us.
And Leo will be taken care of.
Well, I'm entitled to Uncle Horace's share. I'd enjoy being a partner.
You would. Well, you can go to hell.
No, he didn't mean that. I only want to make sure he's going to get something out of all this.
All right. We'll take care of him. We won't have any trouble about that. I'll see you at the store.
Well, it's all settled. Come along.
I didn't mean just that. I only wanted to say what a great day this was for me.
I know, boy. I'm sorry.
Nobody would turn this down. You must have your reasons. You must have reasons you won't
have a tender heart.
Go on up, Uncle Ben, please.
Did you think I wanted you home for yourself? Is that the reason? Is that what you thought?
Huh. You see, everything's over. Don't worry. Alexandra, I want you to tell your mother how sorry I am that I had to leave. And don't worry so, my dear. Married folk frequently raise their voices, unfortunately.
How can you treat Papa like that? He's sick. He's very sick, don't you know that? I won't let you.
Mind your business, Alexandra. How long can you wait for the money?
He has refused. My, that's too bad.
He will change his mind. I'll find a way to make him. How long can you wait? What is the longest you can wait for the money now?
I could wait until next week, but I can't wait until next week. I could, but I can't. Could and can. I have to go now. It's very late.
You are not going. I want to
I'm about to give Alexandra a message for you. I want to tell you that Oscar's going to Chicago tonight. So we won't be here for our usual Friday supper.
Oscar is going to Chicago. What do you mean?
Just that. Everything's settled. He's going on to deliver to Marshall.
I demand to know what you're... You are lying. You're trying to scare me. You don't have the money. You couldn't have it. You can't.
You're getting out of hand. Since when did I take orders from you?
Come back here. How did he get the money? Did a ghost to ride with him? I don't believe you. Come back here. Come back here, you.
Oh, it's a great day when you and Ben cross swords I've been waiting for years.
Papa,
So they don't need you, so you'll not have your millions after all.
You hate to see anybody live now, don't you? You hate to know that I'm going to be alive and have what I want.
I should have known you'd think that was the reason.
Because you're going to die, and you know you're going to die.
Not to keep you from getting what you want, not even partly that. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of this house. I'm sick of my life here. I'm sick of your brothers and their dirty tricks to make a dime. Must be easier way to getting rich than cheating niggers on a pound of bacon. Why should I give you the money? Why? So you can pound the bones in this town and make dividends for you to spend? You wrecked the town, you and your brothers. You wrecked the town and your liver. But not me. Maybe it's easy for the dying to be honest, but it's not my fault I'm dying. I'll do no more harm now. I've done enough. I've done my own way, and I'll do it without making the world any worse. I leave that to you.
I hope you die. I hope you die soon. I'll be waiting for you to die.
Papa, don't listen.
Come. Out. Come out this room.
Once played together, Horace. Remember?
What, Birdie?
I said we played together, you and me.
Papa used to play?
Oh, indeed he did. He played the fiddle and very well, too.
I never knew.
Where's your mama?
Gone to Mr. Fronin's to fit her dresses.
Annie,
Yes, Mr. Hart.
tell Cal to put on his things. I wanted to go on an errand.
Too bad it's been raining all day, Papa, but you can go out in the yard tomorrow. Don't be restless.
I'm not restless, darling.
Oh, I remember so well the time we played together. Your papa and me. It was the first time that Oscar brought me here to supper. I'd never seen all the Hubbards together before. You know what a ninny I am, and how shy. And you said to me that you played the fiddle. And you would be much obliged if I would play with you. Oh, I was obliged to you, all right, all right. Horace, you haven't heard a word I said.
Birdie, when did Oscar get back from Chicago?
Well, yesterday. And he hasn't been here yet?
No, neither has Uncle Benson that day.
Oh, I didn't know it was that bad. Oscar never tells me anything.
Well, the Hubbards have had their great quarrel. I knew it would come someday. It came.
It came, it certainly came.
Well, Oscar was in such a good humor when he got home.
Yes, I can understand that.
A party? Patty, what for?
Nothing for. I had some fresh butter, so I made the cake. And a glass of elderberry does the stomach good to rain.
Isn't it nice? A party just for us. Then, play some party music.
Now, come over here, Mr. Horace. Don't you be thinking so much. A glass of elderberry will do you more good.
Good cakes, Addie. It's nice to you, just us. It'd be nice if it could always be this way.
Quiet and restful.
Well, it won't be this way long. A little while now, even sitting here, you'll hear the red bricks going into place. Next day, the smoke be pushing out the chimney. By church time Sunday, every human-born woman will be living off chicken. At least that's how Mr. Ben's been telling the story.
They believe it that way?
Believe it? They used to believe in what Mr. Ben ordered. There ain't been so much talk around here since Sherman's army didn't come near.
They're fools.
You ain't born in the South unless you're a fool.
We didn't play together after that night. Oscar said he didn't like for me to play on the piano. Do you know what he said that night?
Who?
Oscar. He said that music made him nervous. He said he just sat and waited for the next note. He wasn't poking fun. He really meant it. Oh, well. You know, your papa doesn't like to admit it, but he's been mighty kind to me all these years. Often he'd step in if somebody said something. And once he stopped Oscar from... Well, I'm sorry I said that. Oh, here I am so happy, and yet I don't think about bad things. That's not right now, is it?
Have a cake, Cal?
Yes, sir. You want me, Mr. Horace?
What time is it, Count?
Oh, about 10 minutes before it's 5.
All right, I want you to walk yourself down to the bank.
It'll be closed. Nobody'll be there with Mr. Mann, Mr. Joe Horns, Mr. Leo.
Well, you go in the back way. They'll all be at the table going over the day's business. You see that box?
Yes, sir.
You tell Mr. Manders that Mr. Horace says he's much obliged to him for bringing the box. It arrived all right.
He know you got the box. He bring it himself. Wednesday. I open the door to him and he say, "Hello, Gallo! Coming on the summer weather."
Now, you say just what I tell you, understand?
No, sir, I ain't gonna say I understand. I'm going down and tell a man he give you something he already know he give you, and you say understand.
Now, Cal.
I'm just gonna say you obliged for the box coming, all right? I ain't gonna understand it, but I'm gonna say it.
And you tell him that I wanted to come over here after supper, and he's to bring Mr. Saul Fowler with him.
He's to come after supper. Bring Mr. Saul Fowler, your attorney at law, with him.
That's right. Just walk right in the back room and say your piece in front of everybody.
Yes, sir.
Is anything the matter, Papa?
Oh, nothing.
Miss Birdie, that elderberry will give you a headache spell.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think it will.
You want your medicine?
No, I'm all right, darling.
Do you know, Mama used to give me elderberry wine when I was a little girl for hiccups. You know? Funny, I don't think people get hiccups anymore. Isn't that funny? I used to get them just when I shouldn't have.
And nobody gets growing pains no more. It is funny, Miss Birdie. Like there's some style in what you get. One year in ailment, stylish, the next year it ain't.
I remember it was my first big party. At Lionel, I mean. And I was so excited. And there I was with hiccups. And Mama laughing at me. Mama always laughed. It was a big party. It was a lovely dress for Mr. Work in Paris, France, and hiccups. My brother was pounding me on the back. Mama with the elderberry bottle laughing at me. Everybody was on their way to come, and there I was like a ninny, hiccuping away. Oh, do you know it? That was the first day I ever saw Oscar Hubbard. The Baylons were selling their horses, and he was going there to buy. And he passed and lifted his hat. We could see him from the window. And my brother, just to tease Mama, said maybe we should have invited the Hubbards to the party. He said Mama didn't like them because they ran a store, and that was old-fashioned of her. And then I saw my Mama angry for the first time in my life. She said that was not the reason. She said she was old-fashioned enough not to like people who killed animals they couldn't use and made their money charging awful interest to poor, ignorant niggers and cheat them on what they bought. Oh, she was very angry, Mama was. I had never seen her face like that before. And then suddenly she laughed and said, look, I frightened Birdie out of the hiccups. And so she had. They're all gone.
They did get mighty well off cheating, they did. But there are people who eat the earth and all the people on it. Like in the Bible with the locusts. And there are people who stand around and watch. Sometimes I don't think it's right to just stand around and watch.
It's like I say, if only we could go back to Lionel. Everybody'd be better there. Maybe people would be good and kind. I like people to be kind, Horace. Don't you? Don't you like people to be kind?
Yes, Bridget.
Yes. Yes. That was the first day I ever saw Oscar. Who would have thought? You all want to know something? I don't like Leo. He is my own son, and I don't like him. I think I even like Oscar more.
Why did you marry Uncle Oscar?
That ain't no question for you to be asking.
Why not? She's heard enough around here to ask anything.
Aunt Birdie, why did you marry Uncle Oscar?
I don't know. He was kind to me, and I thought I liked him. He was kind, and I thought it was because he liked me too. But that was not the reason. Ask why he married me. I can tell you that. He's told it to me often enough. My family was good. The cotton lying in its fields was better. Ben Hubbard wanted the cotton. Oscar Hubbard married it for him. He was kind to me then. He used to smile at me. He hasn't smiled at me since. Everybody knew that's what he married me for. Everybody but me. Stupid, stupid me.
Papa, I mean, when you feel better, couldn't we go away? By ourselves, couldn't we find a way?
Yes, I know what you mean. We'll try to find a way. I promise you that.
Rest a bit, Miss Birdie. You get to talking, you get a headache.
I never had a headache in my life. You know that as well as I do. I never had a headache, Sam. I drink. All by myself. In my own room. By myself. I drink. And when they want to hide it, they say Birdie has a headache again.
Birdie.
Even you won't like me now. You won't like me anymore.
I love you. I'll always love you.
Well, don't. Don't you love me. Because in 20 years you'll be just like me. They'll do all the same things to you. You know what? In 22 years I haven't had a whole day of happiness. Not a half, not a quarter. Oh, sometimes a little, like now with you all, but never anything more. And I say to myself, if only I could have one more whole day. And that's the way you'll be. You'll be trailing after them just like me. Hoping they won't be so mean that day. Or say something that'll make you feel so bad. Only you'll be worse off. Because you haven't got my mama to remember.
I guess we were all trying to make a happy day. You know, we sit around and try to pretend nothing's happened. We try to pretend we are not here. We make believe we are by ourselves someplace else, and it doesn't seem to work. Come now. Aunt Birdie, I'll walk you home, you and me.
You and me.
That's the first time I ever heard Miss Birdie say a word. Maybe it's good for her. I'm sorry Dan had to hear it. You feel bad, don't you?
You didn't want Zane to hear.
Be nice. Let her stay innocent like Birdie at her age. Let her listen now. Let her see everything. How else is she going to understand she's got to get away? I'm trying to show her. I'm trying, but I got so little time left. She can even hate me when I'm dead, as long as she learns to hate and fear me.
Mr. Horace.
Soon there'll be nobody to help her but you.
What can I do?
Take her away.
How? How can I do that? They're not going to just let me run away with her.
I'll fix it till they can't stop you. You do it.
Yes, I promise.
I'm going to have Saul Fowler make me a new will. Now, they'll make trouble, but you make Zan stand firm and Paolo do the rest. And, Addie, I'm going to leave you something for yourself. Now, I've always wanted to.
Oh, don't do that, Mr. Horace.
Oh.
A nigger woman in a white man's will?
Oh.
I'll never get it no how.
Saul Fowler has an envelope for you, Addie, with your name on it. Now, there's a lot of money in it. I think it'll help you the rest of your life.
That's mighty kind and good of you. I don't even know what to say for thanks.
I'm back. Back.
So we see.
Well, nothing. I just went down and spoke my piece, just like you told me. I say, Mr. Horace, he thanked you mightily for the safe box arriving in good shape. And he say you come right after supper to his house and bring Mr. Attorney-at-Law Saul Fowler with you. And then I wipe my hands on my coat. Every time I ever told a lie in my whole life, I wipe my hands right after. Can't help doing it. But while I'm wiping my hands, Mr. Leo jump up and say to me, "What box? What you talking about?" And Mr. Leo say he got to leave a little early because he got something to do. And then Mr. Mann, he say that Mr. Leo should sit right down and finish up his work and stop acting like somebody made him Mr. President, so he sit down. Now, like I told you, Mr. Mann was mighty surprised with the message. Because he knows right well he brought the box. But he took it all right. Some men take everything easy. Some do not.
Well, Mr. Leo was telling the truth. He does have something to do. I hope Manders don't keep him too long.
Yeah.
No, leave me where I am.
No, Eddie, go on away. Eddie, go on.
We had agreed that you were to stay in your part of the house and I in mine. This room is in my part of the house. You will kindly not come down here again.
I won't.
I'll get Cal to take you upstairs.
Before you do, I think you should know that after all, we have invested our money in Hubbard and Sons and Marshall cotton manufacturers.
What are you talking about? You haven't seen Ben? What made you change your mind?
Oh, I didn't change my mind. I didn't invest the money. It was invested for me.
What?
I had $188,000 in Union Pacific bonds in that safe deposit box. They're not there now. Go along.
Go and look, Regina. Those bonds are as negotiable as money.
What kind of a joke are you playing now? Is this for my benefit?
I don't look in that box very often, but 3 days ago, on Wednesday it was, because I had made a decision. I said, don't interrupt me again! Because I had made a decision, I sent to the box. The bonds were gone. $188,000 gone.
Do you think I'm crazy enough to believe what you're saying?
Believe whatever you like.
And where did they go to?
They're in Chicago, with Mr. Marshall, I should guess.
And how did they get there? Did they walk? Have you really gone crazy?
Leo took the bonds.
I don't believe you.
I wasn't there, but I can guess what happened. This fine gentleman to whom you were willing to marry your daughter took the keys and opened the box. Remember the day of the fight? Oscar went to Chicago? Well, he went with my bonds that his son Leo had stolen from him. And for Ben, of course, too.
When did you find out the bonds were missing?
Wednesday night.
I thought that's what you said. Why have you waited for 3 days before doing anything? Oh, this will make a fine scene.
Couldn't it?
Oh, to hold over their heads.
But I'm not going to hold it over their heads. I'm going to let them keep the bonds as a loan from you. A $188,000 loan. They should be grateful to you. They will be.
I see. You are punishing me. But I will not let you punish me. I'll do something.
You won't do anything because you can't. No use you causing trouble. I shall simply say I lent them the bonds.
You would do that?
Yes. For once in your life, I'm tying your hands. There's nothing for you to do.
I see. You are going to lend them the bonds and let them keep all the profits they make on them, and there's nothing I can do about it. Is that right?
Yes.
Why did you say I was making this gift?
I was coming to that. I'm going to make a new will, Regina, leaving you $188,000 in Union Pacific bonds. The rest will go to Zan. Now, it is true that after I'm dead, your brothers have borrowed your share for a little while. After I'm dead, I suggest you talk to Ben and Oscar. They won't admit anything, and Ben, I think, will be smart enough to see that he's safe, because I knew about the theft and said nothing. Nor will I say anything for as long as I live. Is that clear to you?
You will not say anything as long as you live.
That's right, but of course by that time they probably will have replaced the bonds. And then they'll belong to you, and nobody but us will ever know what happened. They'll be around here any minute. See what I'm going to do. Yeah, I took good care to see that word reached Leo. They'll be mighty relieved to know that I'm going to do nothing, and Ben will think it all a capital joke on you, and that will be the end of that. Nothing you can do to them, nothing you can do to me.
You hate me very much.
No.
Well, I don't hate you either. We haven't been very good together. I don't hate you. I have only contempt for you. I've always had.
From the very first,
I think so.
I was in love with you. But why did you marry me?
I was lonely when I was young.
You were lonely.
Oh, not lonely in the way people usually mean. Lonely for all the things I wasn't gonna get. Everybody in this house was so busy, and there was so little place for what I wanted. I wanted the world. And then Papa died.
And so you married me.
Yes, I thought... But I was wrong. You were a small town clerk then. You haven't changed.
And that wasn't what you wanted.
No! No, it wasn't what I wanted. It was a while before I realized the mistake I'd made. As for you, I don't know. It was almost as if I couldn't stand the kind of man you were. I used to lie there at night praying you wouldn't come near.
Really? It was as bad as that.
Do you remember when I went to Dr. Sloan and I told you he said there was something the matter with me and you shouldn't touch me anymore?
I remember.
But you believed it. I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand how anybody could be such a soft fool. It was then I began to despise you.
Well, why didn't you leave me?
I told you I married you for something. It turned out to be only for this. This wasn't what I wanted, but it was something. I never thought about it much before, but if I had, I'd have known you'd die before I would. But I couldn't have known you'd have heart trouble so early and so bad. I'm lucky, Horace. I've always been lucky. I'll be lucky again.
Please. Tell Addie the other bottle's upstairs. Addie. Addie.
Going to get the doctor. Go upstairs.
Hello? I never saw you ring the bell when the door's open. If y'all gonna ring the bell, then somebody ought to answer it. Hey, Regina? Addie! Where the hell? Carol!
Mr. Leo! Mr. Leo, so you stop that screaming noise.
Where is everybody?
Mr. Horace, he got an attack in his bed.
Mr. Horace!
Mr.
What?
Horace, you stop
What
that
happened?
noise.
When did this happen? Do you see Miss Oscar, Mr. Ben? Answer me, you!
No, I ain't seen him. I ain't got time to answer you. I gotta get things.
What's the matter with him? When did this happen? Did he probably be someplace where I could find him?
Oh, the bear! There's what he's had since he came home.
Here's some son.
Wait,
You upstairs and
Wait,
go away. You listen to me, please?
What's the matter with
I'm
you?
trying to tell you and trying to find you.
Tell me what?
He knows about the bonds. He knows about them. He was at the box since Wednesday.
Stop. Now, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm telling you he knows about the bonds. Exactly, I know.
What happened?
You heard me.
What?
You heard me. Uncle Horace knows about the bonds. He said the box been wedding day.
I didn't know that.
Because Cal comes down to Memphis and said the box came okay.
That
And they
wasn't
want
the
me
thing,
to go. Might not, huh? Then he said the man should come here tonight and bring Sal Fowler with him. I guess that don't mean a thing, you know.
There's the box. Stop. You ass, put it down. What are you going to do with it? Eat it?
I'm gonna put it back.
Put it down. Don't touch it again. Now sit down and shut up for a minute.
Since Wednesday? You said he's had it since Wednesday? Why didn't he say something then? I don't understand.
I can put it back. I can put it back before
Had it since Wednesday. It doesn't say a word to him.
Why?
What is the difference? Why? He's getting ready to declare he's going to save the Fowler tonight.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that? What do I care what you believe? I do all the dirty work you just did.
I'm remembering that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You don't shut this little fool up. I'll show you what I mean. Now, for some reason, he knows, but he don't say a word.
Maybe he didn't know we.
That Leo, he's no fool. Leo, man does know the bonds are missing.
I gotta tell, I was half out of my head. I don't think the man's kind of puzzled want me to sit down.
When did it happen? Wasn't bad early, and then there he is next thing on the landing, falling over his eyes.
Hey, Dr. Sloan, go back to Ballon. Hitch up the buggy, go get him home.
Never seen Sloan anywhere when you need him.
So fair.
Here, Regina, he would have told her about it. He would have told his own wife.
Yes, he might have told her, but they went on such pretty terms. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. Now listen to me. If she doesn't know, it may work out all right. If she does know, you're to say he lent you the bonds.
Lent me the bonds. Who's gonna believe that?
Nobody.
Don't you understand? It can't do no harm to say it.
But why should I say he lent them to me? Why not to you? Why not to Uncle Ben?
Just because he didn't lend them to me. Remember that.
But all he has to do is say he didn't lend them to me.
But for some reason, he doesn't seem to be took. Does it? What happened?
He's had a bad attack.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm so sorry that we weren't here when Horace needed us.
When you needed us.
Yes,
How is it? Can we go up?
he's not conscious.
Wasn't that bad, huh? Now, don't you think Sloan could have found quicker just one? Just one.
I don't think he found much to do.
Don't talk like that. Horace comes to attacks before he will now.
Well, the first time we've seen each other since the day of our fight.
You and Oscar and I used to fight when we were kids.
Don't you think we should go up? Is there something we
You
can do for
don't
Horace?
feel well, huh?
No, I don't. Horace told me about the bonds this afternoon.
Bonds? What do you mean? What bonds?
The
What are you
Union
talking about?
Pacific bonds? Horace's Union Pacific bonds?
Yes.
Well, what about him? What could he say?
He told me that Leo had stolen the bonds and given them to
didn't
you.
Oh, that's
steal nothing.
ridiculous, Regina.
I don't know
That's
what you're saying. You
absolutely-
think what I do
That's
with
what
the
he
bonds.
stole them from
Why would
his
I steal
wife.
it? I didn't
This is
steal.
a
I don't know why you're saying
You're
these
talking about
things.
something you don't know about.
I'll be starting from the wrong end, Regina. Exactly, what did Horace tell you?
He told me that Leo had stolen the
I
bonds.
didn't steal. I
Please,
didn't steal anything.
please let me finish. Horace told me that he was going to pretend he had lent you the bonds as a gift from me to my brother. And that there was nothing I could do about it. And that he was going to leave the rest of his money to Alexandra. That is all.
Well, I told you he lent them.
So-
I could have told you that.
So, I am very badly off, you see. Horace told me there was nothing I could do as long as he was alive to say he had lent you the bonds.
shouldn't feel that way. It can all be explained, all be adjusted. It isn't as bad as...
So you, at least, are willing to admit the bonds were stolen?
I admit no such thing. It's possible Horace made up that part of the story to tease you, or perhaps to punish you. To punish you.
It's not a pleasant story. I feel bad, Ben, naturally. I hadn't thought...
You shall have the bond safely back. That was understanding, wasn't it, Oscar?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. I had greater hopes.
I don't talk that way. That's foolish. I think we'll ride out the sloan ourselves. If we can't find him, we'll go to Centerville for Dr. Morris. And don't think I'm dismissing this other business. I'm not. We'll have it all out on a more appropriate day.
I don't think you better go. I think you better come back and sit down.
We'll be back to sloan.
Gallo's gone for him. I don't want you to go.
Now, don't worry.
You will come back in this room and sit down. I have something more to say.
Since when do I take orders from you?
You don't yet. Come back, Oscar. You too, Leo.
Horace has already clipped your wings in very wittily. Do I have to clip them too? You get bothered with a smile, Regina. I am a soft man for a woman's smile.
I am smiling, Ben. I'm smiling because you are quite safe while Horace lives. But I don't think Horace will live. And if he doesn't live, I want 75% in exchange for the bond.
Greedy. What a greedy girl you are. You want so much of everything.
Yes. And if I don't get what I want, I'm going to put all three of you in jail.
Well, you're mighty crazy. Having just
And on what evidence would you put Oscar and Leo in jail?
Oh, Oscar, listen to him. He's getting ready to say it was you and Leo. What do you say to that? Oh, don't be angry, Oscar. I'm going to see that he goes in with you.
Try anything you like, Regina. And now we can stop all this and say goodbye to you. It's his money. He's obviously willing to let us borrow it. Learn to make threats when you can carry them through. For how many years have I told you good-looking woman gets bothered by being soft and appealing? Mama used to tell you that. Where the hell is Sloan? Oscar, take the buggy.
Well, Alexander, what is it? I didn't know you were that sick.
Seemed like yesterday when he first came here.
Yes, that's true. Whole town loved him, respected him.
Did you love him, Uncle Oscar?
Well, certainly was a strange thing to ask.
Did you love him, Uncle Ben?
He had,
And you, Mama, did you love him too?
I know how you feel, Alexander, but please try to control yourself.
Trying, Mama. I'm trying very hard.
Grief makes some people laugh and some people cry. It's better to cry, Alexander.
What was Papa doing on the staircase?
Please go and lie down, Alexandra. We all need time to get over shocks like this. Please go, Alexandra.
Mama, I'll wait. I want to talk to you.
Later. Go and rest now.
I'll wait. I have plenty of time.
As I was saying, tomorrow morning I shall go to Judge Sims. I shall tell him about Leo.
Not in front of the child, Regina.
I didn't ask her to stay. Tomorrow morning I shall go to Judge Sims.
And what proof? What proof all this?
None. I don't need any. The bonds are missing, and they are with Marshall. I don't need anything else. If I do, I'll add what's necessary.
I'm sure of that.
You can be quite sure.
We'll deny.
Deny your heads off. You couldn't find a jury who wouldn't weep for a woman whose brothers steal from her. And you couldn't find 12 men in this state you haven't cheated and hate you for it.
Well, what kind of talk is this? You couldn't do a thing like that. We're your own brothers. How can you talk that way? We went upstairs not 5 minutes ago.
There are some people who must finish what they start. I am one of those people, Oscar. Where was I? Well, they'll convict you, but I won't much care if they don't, because by that time you will be ruined. I will take my story to Mr. Marshall, who likes me, I believe, and will not want to be involved in your scandal. A respectable firm like Marshall and Company, why, the deal would be off in an hour, and you know it. Now, I don't want to hear any more from any of you. You will do no more bargaining in this house. I'll take my 75% and will forget the story forever. That is one way of doing it, and the way I prefer. But I think you know me well enough to know I don't mind doing it the other way.
None of us have ever known you well enough, Regina.
You're getting old, Ben. Your tricks aren't as smart as they used to be. All right. I take it that's settled and I get what I asked for.
You gonna let her do this?
Have you a suggestion?
No, he hasn't. All right. Leo? I have forgotten you ever saw the bond. And if you boys behave yourselves, I have forgotten we ever talked about them. You can draw up the necessary papers tomorrow. You're a good loser, Ben. I like that.
Well, I say to myself, what's the good? You and I, like Oscar, we're not sour people. I think that comes from a good digestion. Them 2-1 loses today and wins tomorrow. It's true that years of planning, I get what I want and I don't get it, but I'm not discouraged. The century's turning, the world is open, north, west, Chicago. All those boys know it. Just look at them and what they've done. But I know it too, and I'll bring it south. Plenty of ways, bigger than Hubbard, Sons, and Marshall. Sorry we can't include you anymore, Regina.
Thank you, Ben. But I'll be in Chicago. You can write.
It's a big land here, Regina, just sitting around to take. Maybe I'll write to you. Maybe I won't.
Whatever you want, Ben.
And, too, I say to myself, things may change. I agree with Alexandra. What is a man in a wheelchair doing on a staircase? I ask myself that.
And what do you answer?
I have no answer, but maybe someday I will. Maybe never, but maybe someday. When I do, I'll let you know.
Yes. When you do, let me know. turned out quite well, I think.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, certainly. You'll sort of be working for me now.
Alexandra, you're turning out to be a right interesting girl. Night all.
What did you want to talk to me about, Alexandra?
I've changed my mind. I don't want to talk. There's nothing to talk about now.
You're acting very strange. Not like yourself. You've had a bad shock today. I know that. You loved your papa, but well, you must have expected this to come. You know how sick he was.
I knew. We all knew.
Be good for you to get away from here. Be good for me, too. Time heals most wounds, Alexandra. You're young. You shall have all the things I wanted. I shall make the world for you the way I wanted it to be for me. Don't just stand there staring, Alexandra. You've been around Birdie so much you're getting just like her.
Funny, that's what Aunt Birdie said today.
Be good for you to get away from all this.
Cal is back, Miss Regina. He says Dr. Sloan is coming in a few minutes.
We'll go in a few weeks. A few weeks. That means 2 or 3 Saturdays. 2 or 3 Sundays. Well, I'm very tired. I should go to bed. I don't want any supper. Put out the lights and lock up. Alexandra, go to your room. Addie will bring you something hot. You look very tired. Call me when Dr. Sloan gets here. I don't want any other calls. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I don't want any condolence calls. The whole town will be over.
Mama, I'm not coming with you. I'm not going to Chicago.
You're upset, Alexandra.
I mean what I say with all my heart.
We'll talk about it tomorrow in the morning. We'll make it different.
It won't make any difference, and there isn't anything to talk about. I am going away from you because I want to. Because I know Papa would want me to.
You know your papa would want you to go away from me?
Yes.
And if I say no?
Say it, Mama. Say it. See what happens.
And if I make you stay, that would be foolish.
It wouldn't work in the end.
You're very serious about it, aren't you? You'll change your mind in a day or two.
You only change your mind when you want to, and I won't want to.
Alexandra, I have come to the end of my rope. Somewhere there has to be what I want too. Life goes too fast. Do what you want. Think what you want. Go where you want. I'd like to keep you here with me, but I won't make you stay. Too many people used to make me do too many things. No. No. I won't make you stay.
You couldn't, Mama. Because I want to leave here as I have never wanted anything in my life before. Because now I understand what Papa was trying to tell me. All in one day. Hattie said there are people who eat the earth and other people who watch them do it. And just now, Uncle Ben said the same thing. Really, he said the same thing. Well, tell him for me, Mama. I am not going to stand around and watch.
Well, you have spirit after all. And I thought you were all sugar water. We don't have to be be bad friends, Alexandra. I don't want us to be bad friends. Would you like to talk tonight, Alexandra? Would you like to sleep in my room tonight?
Are you afraid, Mama?
of a child like you wandering all over London by yourself. I never did. However did you get in? By the garden, I suppose?
No, the front door. I rang and Cook opened it.
Oh, where's your trunk and your top box?
Upstairs. The taximan carried them up.
Taxi man? You took a taxi? All by yourself? What? I don't know what little boys are coming to, I'm sure. Oh, what your father and mother will say, I don't know.
Where are they, Violet?
Church, of course.
Oh, yes, it's Sunday, isn't it?
What's the matter with you? What have they been doing to you, Osborne?
What do you mean?
Well, you seem to have gone a bit soft in the head or something. I better go on with your unpacking. Oh, Master Dick has been using your chest of drawers for all his dress clothes and things. I'll just clear them out and put them on his bed. That's what I'll do. He'll have to find room for them somewhere else.
Shall I help you?
Oh, I know your help. With your help, I'll be at it all day. No, you wait here for your mother and father. They'll be back in a minute. Well?
Yes.
Don't I get a kiss? Or are you too grown up for that now?
Oh, sorry, Violet.
That's better. My, what a big boy you're getting. Quite the little naval officer, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Well, well. Oh, I bet you're getting on.
You're absolutely right, and I do agree with you. But the vicar is so old, dear. From the back of the church, you really can't hear a word he says.
He's a good man, Grace.
What's the use of being good if you're inaudible?
A problem in ethics for you, Father.
There is a draft, Grace.
Oh, dear. Coming on for rain.
I'm on Mother's side. The young boy is so daughtery now, he can hardly finish the course at all. I timed him today. Took him 75 seconds dead from a flying start to reach the pulpit. And then he needed the whip coming around the bend. I call that pretty bad going.
I'm afraid I don't think that's very funny, Richard.
Oh, don't you, Father?
Doddery though Mr. Jackson may seem now, I very much doubt if when he was at Oxford he failed his past mods.
Dash it, Father, you promised not to mention that again this fact.
You did, you know, Arthur.
There was a condition to my promise, if you remember, that Dickie should provide me with adequate proof of his intention